By the fire everlasting thou shalt perish. How's it going, guys? This is 0rfeus's with an update about the state of the current meta in Gwent. Last time I showed you a Wild Hunt Frost deck, and to be honest, guys, its win rate is just it's not good. I mean, it was not as bad back then because a lot of people were experimenting with new decks in rankeds, but now when the meta got a little more stable, it's just awful. I think we all may have got a little carried away by the prospect of playing an actual viable weather deck. Don't get me wrong, in a way I like the changes that's been brought to the table by the Master Mirror expansion. I do. I think the meta got a little more diverse, and I feel this fresh new air in the game. Honestly, I kinda hope that these kind of changes would happen more often. I know that it's not that easy, but I think with the Master Mirror expansion, Gwent, in a way, browsed new waters that open a whole new world of possibilities. Anyways, I was talking about monsters in the current meta, and the last couple of days actually proved the point that only one or two monster decks are actually playable in competitive play nowadays. The first one being the Ethereal Fruits deck, even though it's more of a fun deck than a first tier, and the second one being ever still the Kikimor Queen, especially when a lot of the decks out there dropped Irden in favor of the faction specific evolving card, or in favor of devotion, etc. So I was thinking about a new deck for today, and in my opinion 3 decks especially got kinda strong after the patch. I'm talking obviously about Skellige, because the second wind with Harald and particularly Blood Eagle is kinda strong at the moment. It's on the verge of beating them or joining them situation, and also Scoia'tael are obviously good. Symbiosis works out pretty well if played right. But today I'm about to show you the third one I'm talking about. It's not a Nilfgaard Spy deck, neither a Northern Realms Kerak deck, it's Syndicate FIRESWORM. Obviously, the expansion brought to the game a whole new bunch of cards with FIRESWORM attribute, and even though Sacred Flame, the FIRESWORM artifact, got nerfed a lot, the rest is so good I climbed from rank 4 to rank 2 in 12 games, I think, because I've lost so far only one game with this deck. So let me show it to you, and please let me know what do you think about it. The thing about this deck is that it yields an incredible number of points on your side of the board. In one of the last games I had, I think, 159 points, which is a record for me in ranked in the last couple of months, I think. What I am aiming for with this deck is short first round. The first round cards being Ewald Borsodi, Damnation in certain situations, Roderick the Vet, Congregation sometimes, Mutants Maker, and Novigradian Justice. With this kind of combo you will not usually win the first round, and I know that may prove fatal, especially against those Skellige decks. But you can bleed him a little, at least to the point where he won't try to bleed you out in the second round. In the third round, when your Jacques the Aldersberg has evolved, your first thing to do in most cases is to play Ulrich with Fallen Knight, and add another Fallen Knight if possible. This card is so good, and one of your main carries, honestly, especially when combined with your leader's ability. So try to save those spawning charges for the situation when you've got those cards already on the board. Afterwards, use Horse Sun Senior on the FIRESWORM tokens, or use the Procession of Penance first, because you might not have as many FIRESWORM tokens later on, and you're pretty much good to go. Harald Gord is usually the last card I play, for obvious reasons. It's not the best Harald Gord there could be, but he's usually worth at least 10 or 11 points, and I think he suits the role he is supposed to be. Now let's talk briefly about some cards I decided not to include in the deck. Most notably I think the Grand Inquisitor Helvet. The reason I decided to drop him is that this deck is not particularly strong on coins, and for a 10 provision cost I think Novigradian Justice or Dies Irae card adds a little more value to the deck. I also actually thought about dropping Procession of Penance, because I rarely play it at its highest value of 12 points, but for now it stays because it's a FIRESWORN card after all and it's usually at least 8 or 10. Anyways, I hope my win rate stays high with this next game because I invite you all my friends to watch. Please make yourselves comfortable and let us jump right in now. What's it gonna be? Well, Nilfgaard.
The fire cleanses.
And Tactical Decision 1. Haven't seen actually Tactical Decision in a while, but I guess that doesn't matter a lot. 2 Congregations, I don't need obviously Crown Splitter Thug in my hand because I can call it with Novigradian Justice if I would have it. Horson Senior, this is a good draw, but actually it might be a little too good in my opinion. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. Obviously, I'm starting Mutants Maker.
Fortunately, transformation robs them of speech.
I might have turned the volume of the game a little too high. Didn't I, guys? If I did, I sincerely apologize for any inconvenience. Alright, so let's destroy this right away.
Every last copper.
And it's gonna be a very short first round, I think. Like I said, this deck is not particularly strong on coins, so that's why I'm playing this Yuled Borsodi here pretty much willy-nilly. He is not one of our main carries. And he plays Masquerade Ball, so I can expect like a double ball, obviously. So let's go with 1 Congregation.
Believe I heard more coin clinking about in that pouch of yours.
I might be actually passing very soon. I'm thinking also playing Furco with Novigradian Justice. Maybe. Now we are 15 points ahead, but pretty soon he's gonna bring hell onto us with Masquerade Ball, so now I expect like Van Morlahem Hunter to lock Yuled Borsodi, maybe no, it's a Rod Tosser, okay. Now would be a good time to play Horsan Senior, but nah. I think let's go with Novigradian Justice. And let's go away for the round.
Belly or throat, got a preference. Who are you calling a runt?
We are 19 points ahead, but we've got the poison on our highest unit, so yeah, I think I'm gonna pass the next turn. Like I said, play safely the first round,
Drinking can be hazardous to your health.
and let's hope for the best. Yeah, we may have surprised him a little bit with our pass pretty early on, and he played Lacerate. Well, if he had Lacerate in his hand, I'm kinda glad that's out now. Jacques has evolved here, but still not the form we are looking for. I have no Fallen Knight in my hand. I have Vivaldi Bank, of course, but I need at least one in my hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we have to spend one of our leader charges here.
By denying penance, you confirm your guilt.
So that I can play a Procession of Penance. Well, he's trying to bleed me out. What a surprise. No, he's just playing Asire for any hit to bring that Masquerade Ball back in his deck, obviously. So should I go Horson here? No, let's go Procession of Penance first.
Fire cleanses all wounds.
At least we are saving that Ulrich Fallen Knight combo for the last round. He's playing Morale on Procession of Penance. Okay.
Who knows too much dies too soon.
It's kinda unfortunate. I need some money here. So let's go with Vivaldi. Alright.
Lean not your hand upon me, simpleton.
Now I have the 3 coins needed for Horsan Senior. I'm not playing like for a card advantage here, but he may actually. Oh,
Is necessary
okay.
for one's health.
He may actually push me to play it.
The child's scars are proof for her parents' love.
Because the next turn I'm thinking Tavern Brawl worth either 5 points and a poison, or 6 points. Let's see about that. Harald Gort worth 7 points. Now that's not much, but it will get better in time. He played pretty high cards, but then again, oh, really? So I'm going into the last round with a card advantage. That's a welcome bonus. And please give me one Fallen Knight. That's all I'm asking for. Yes, thank you, thank you. You are too kind. Mwah. I would like to have that DS era, but it's okay. Obviously, if you have two Fallen Knights in hand, just play one before the Ulrich so that it can buff itself from the spawning of this card. So this card is so good. I know it's 11 provision cost, but it's amazing.
Let's dance till the sun sings its
And obviously,
song.
Fallen Knights, they have a whale on them, so that then they cannot be targeted by a poison or lock.
Radovid betrayed the order, then bled it dry.
Obviously Ulrich can, but then again, he's a... he has Intimidate, of course, but he doesn't have the bonus from spawning a unit. So Fallen Knights are a little better in this particular matter. Imperial Diviner, of course, can purify the whale status.
Come at me if you must. Don't think this sword a toy.
Hey, it's supposed to be transmuted. Yeah. Good card, a pretty nice artwork as well. I like it. Yeah. Kinda could have expected this. I can do anything to deal with the cow carcass now. So let's just go with Jacques.
I shall save humankind from what my visions meant.
By denying penance, you confirm your guilt.
Of course, I'm gonna miss this one, but there's nothing I can do with it. Let's hope the Wheel of Fortune will smile upon us. I know Wheel of Fortune is a troll pick, in a way. It is, but you know, it's a crime card, so why the hell not?
Let us finish this.
Feeling a bit peckish.
My, but them Morlehems, they truly spoil us.
And he's gonna poison Ulrich here. He already played Morale, he played one Rotosser already. I think this may be one of his last poisons. Let's try Wheel of Fortune. Whoa! To be honest, I've never experienced a Wheel of Fortune worth 10 points, so this is a premiere for me. Wow, okay, I think now he is kind of pissed, and I don't blame him. Harald is now will be worth 10 points by the end of the game.
No mercy!
Music marries cultures, connects folk to one another.
I would really love to have the DS era card. It's a shame I didn't draw it. But I think we might be alright. There's nothing I can get out of the damnation, is there? He's playing Jacques de Aldersberg. Jacques de Aldersberg switched his sides.
My knights, I need to be like witches, strong and immune.
Six, 2, 4, that's too much. Yeah, but I guess even if I would put it like here, the amount of points I would yield from that would be a little lower, so this was kind of my only option. We will have 11 points Harald at the end, thanks to his Matahari, but still this game is a lot closer than I hoped it would be.
Few poachers dare venture into the Von Morlohem's wood.
So what's his last card? Triss.
Just great.
Wow. What a close game. In fact, it was the closest of games there could be. And our card advantage going into the third round actually proved to be decisive. But I'm glad the win rate is not suffering from this game, because this was actually pretty mind-blowing, and I'm glad we delivered in the end. But then again, he did well to bleed me out in the second round, because if I would have that Horsan Senior combo in the third round, he would have it a lot harder to play his carries. So I'm glad it ended up it did. I still think, even after this nerve-wracking game, that this FIRESWORN deck is strong. It's perfectly viable. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. By the way, did you notice that these mosaic screens are usually bugged? For some reason, whatever rank am I always seem to be completing the Geralt mosaic here, and obviously Geralt should be the rank 1, while the second one should be Ciri, I think. Well, anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Please let me know what do you think about FIRESWORN decks in the current meta, and if there are some card choices you would have done differently in your own FIRESWORN deck. More of these videos are coming, so please guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, this was 0rfeus's, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.